Two things that I've observed from you guys. Either one, you've been punished by the people you work for having to come to football practice rather than to go watch those guys try to beat Washington. Or you really, really, really like football. And hopefully you really like football. But you need to get over there because we need to be pulling for those guys. All right, any questions?
Well, you've had 1 week in the books now. What's kind of your overall observation?
Well, I think, after a year, the guys that have been part of the program, they're kind of setting the tone of how practice should be run. There's mistakes, there's always things, but I think we're more efficient than we were last year. That's for sure. There's a reason we're coming in here because we're more in a teaching mode for me. And I think when you're in a condensed area like this, I can get around better, watch coaches coach. The real emphasis has been on mental errors, clean up our mental errors, become technically and fundamentally sounder as a football player. That has kind of been our whole week mantra, if you may say that, and I think the players have bought into that.
What have you seen from the quarterbacks after 1 week?
We've got a competitive group, and we're in a really good situation, I think. Now, the thing they don't have is experience. And the last time I checked, the only way they get it is play. And so we're going to continue to run practice the way we run it. It's competition. I think the whole team watches it. And I tell them, while you're watching those quarterbacks, make sure you take care of your job. Or somebody's competing for your job, too. So that's the way this thing is working.
Are you expected to go another 2-on-2 off in the next week as well?
Yeah, we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, this will go until the spring, and then obviously when summer camp begins, and we'll get into some numbers. And I think by probably a week or two before opening day, we should probably have an idea of how it's going to unfold.
Are you evaluating it practice by practice, or are you trying to wait like a few weeks and then kind of do
I mean, you're gonna look at every practice and take it for what it's worth. Quarterbacks are as good as their surrounding cast, and the quarterback made a good throw. I've been involved in this too many times where the quarterback had a good day, bad day. Well, the people around him have to help him. If the receivers drop a ball, that's not his fault. Now, if he throws the ball to the other guy, that's a little bit on him. But I just think I've done this enough in my lifetime. You don't panic, you just let it play out, and it works out that way.
How have Coach Kane and Iguano translated early on in practice?
Very good. They're very, very sound coaches. They know how to capture their room. Coaching is about capturing your room and communicating. And we've talked a lot about that, how we can become better communicators to our players. We do stuff that obviously will grab their attention. It starts in the meeting rooms. I'm really big on knowledge. I challenged them today. I told them, I said, knowledge is powerful. And I went into the offensive room and the defensive room, and I brought them an NFL playbook. And it was about that big. And I let every player touch it. And they started opening it up and looking at all this volume of information in there. I said, hey guys, if you really think you want to play like at the next level, this ain't about talent, this is about knowledge. I said, how do you learn? You have to have a hunger to learn. And it comes in the classroom, it comes in walkthroughs. But I want them to hold the NFL playbook. Just to hold and look at it, the volume of things you got to learn. And I said, that's what this stuff's all about, so don't take it for granted.
What are you seeing for some of the young defensive backs like Jarrell and Frederick? It seemed like you were impressed with their play today.
Well, yeah, we're more athletic, I think, and with the guys that we're bringing in. Now remember, we're going to bring probably 20 more players in here. Some will be on the defensive front. Some will be in the back end of our defense. We'll bring some skilled players into our offense. All these guys, in my ability, have really good athletic talent. I think our speed and our height is going to increase. And I think you'll see it in the summer when these guys walk in here. You're not going to be some of the Deshari and all those guys. They're going to be young, but they're going to be very talented.
You mentioned getting guys in, but right now the linebackers and D-line just have 5 guys that are rotating.
Yeah.
How are you kind of looking at
Well,
that?
we're taking breaks, and I think you can see it. This is built into the practices. We're not going to try to hurt these guys by any stretch of the imagination, but we want to get even reps, so we're giving them breaks in between. They don't go more than 8 reps in periods, and then we stop and give them breaks. And I think it's good for the coaches, too, to bring them up and coach them. But I told the D-line, helps along the way. Don't worry about it. It's coming. They know it's coming. They just can't participate yet.
What's it mean to have Tyler Riley back on there?
Well, you know, he's not fully ready to go yet, and there's a couple other defensive guys, obviously, that we're waiting to get back. You know, Tyler, obviously, is coming along, you know, and it's fun to see him. I think he's gaining confidence as he practices. We want to bring him along slow, but we've got a couple other guys that are mending some wounds, you know. The 41 is mending wounds, and then there's a couple other guys. So when they come back, and with the influx of players that we're bringing in here, we're going to be faster, more athletic, and I think that's what we're trying to achieve as a football team.
Last season when he was hurt and kind of worked his way back, what things did you see from him as he tried to stay involved and still be a part of the
Well, I mean, his leadership qualities, and we're looking for leaders. We're always looking for leaders, and it's hard to lead. It really is, because you have to be consistent every day. You really do. It's not a part-time job. It's an all-time job, and sometimes you have to say things to certain players, and it might be your friends that you know that might upset them, but you got to say the things that make the team better. It's always going to be about team.
I know Humphrey's been on the sideline. Have you guys been running Paul Lucas kind of at a slot receiver just because there's limited depth there?
Yeah, and you know, we got a couple guys coming in here that we're going to work here as well that have signed with us. You know, Curly will be coming in here, and he's going to work in the slot some. So it'll be good to get some of these guys in. But we're moving guys around. That's what the spring is about, evaluating players. That's what we're trying to do.
Your new punter, is his big strength hang time? Is that what he's gonna?
He can really bomb it. I mean, he can really not. It's not fair to him in here because he's trying to angle kick it and stuff. You'll see when he goes outside, it'll be like, what is that, right? But he's got to learn how to. Oh, I'm sorry. He's got to learn how to place it too, because we're going to ask him to do that. Especially, hopefully, we don't have to do this too many times. When we're on the -40, hopefully, we can make first down so we can get past that thing. We don't have to punt. But he's going to have to learn how to place it too.
The Davis kid that transferred from Baylor, what do you think of what you've seen of him?
He's got really quick twitch, eager to learn. You know, last year was more of a practice squad guy and really did drill work, but not as involved as he should have been in the defense. He's got a chance. He's got a chance to help. He's gonna play. I mean, he's gonna play. It's gonna be hard to keep him off the field.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.